Hey Math fans, Test 4, Lesson 4, Swords ready, and let's go. Today should be really quick. We're going to review how to read and make tally charts, which you've probably been doing your whole life, and we're going to talk about how to read and make double bar graphs. So we will start with a quick review of tally chart. So I am sure that you've made tallies before. Tallies look like this. Okay, and they're just a simple way of keeping track of things. So what we really want to know is when would you use them, and when you're going to use a tally chart is when you just want to keep a quick count. So if I'm quickly going through and I'm counting how many people in our class want to order pizza for a class party, I might do a tally. I might go, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, this many of you. Oops. The reason we do this, we group things in fives because fives are easy to count by. So every time you see that shape, you know you're counting by 5, 10, this makes 13. Makes life really easy. That was an accident, don't mind that. Just totally for interest's sake, that's not the same in every country in the world. So like when I lived in Japan, the Japanese people, when they make a tally, use Chinese numbers to do it. So what they do is they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we do, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the same as what you see above there. So if I was going to write 10 tallies in Canada, I would write them like that. And in Japan, it would look like that. And then if I was going to add 2 more, in Canada, it would look like that. And in Japan, it would look like that. You don't need to know that. It's just interesting. What you do need to know is how to make a tally and that you use it when you're just trying to do a quick count. So now that you know how to count up your information, we're going to talk about how you can graph that information. So just to review, you all know what a bar graph is, but let's just double check it. You have a title, students' favorite juices. Your y-axis is labeled, number of students, and this is going up by 2s. Down here you have your types of juices. Each bar gets a label, in this case red, orange, yellow, and purple, which are not really types of juice, but that's okay. And the bars show how many children selected each juice. We looked at histograms last week. If we had a histogram, that would be if we had a range on the bottom. So if we had, for example, we might have red, orange, yellow, and purple here, and then we might have 0 to 100 children who liked red, or 0 to 50, right? That's when you have a histogram. It's a range. So those are two different types of graphs. We're going to look at a third type of graph today, which is a double bar graph. Sorry if you got the ringing phone there for a minute. All right, we can represent two different sets of data on the same bar graph if we use bars of different colors. So for example here, Laura wants to know who sleeps more, cats or dogs. So she monitors the time her dog and cat spend sleeping, and she makes a chart. So we named the cats Pokey and Rover just for fun. And you can say that on Monday, Rover slept for 12 hours and Pokey for 12 hours. Tuesday, Rover slept for 13 and Pokey for 11. Wednesday, Rover slept for 9 and Pokey for 16. Thursday, Rover slept for 12 and Pokey for 16. And Friday, Rover slept for 13 and Pokey for 12. So I want to put all of this information on the same graph. It would be easy to do if I just wanted to graph Rover. I would just put hours the dog slept, and I would put the day over here and the hours over here and the days down here and make a graph. Easy stuff. Same for the cat. To make a double bar graph, all I'm going to do is plop those together on the same graph. And here's what it looks like. So, like every graph, we're going to have a title, hours my pets sleep each day. We're going to label the y-axis, hours slept, and we went up by 2s. We're going to label the x-axis, days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The only thing that's different from an everyday bar graph is what we did is we gave a color to each animal. We made the cat black and the dog brown or red or whatever it is. So then we put the bars together. The cat's hours slept are shown in black. The dog's hours slept are shown in red. Okay? Now, why would we ever want to do this? Well, because it's easy to look at this and see who is sleeping more. So even though the dog slept a little more on Tuesday and a little more on Friday, you can see that overall the cat is sleeping way more than the dog. That's why we do double bar graphs, is because we want to make comparisons. And we can actually do more than that. We could add a rabbit and make the rabbit yellow and put a third bar in for the rabbit on every one if we wanted to. But that's how we can do bar graphs that do comparisons. That's what it looks like. It's basic bar graph, except you're just putting two things together and having a color for each. And that brings us to a review. So today all I'd like you to do is answer these two questions. What are some times you would want to use a tally chart, and give me 3 examples. So for example, you could say, if I was counting how many students in the class wanted to order pizza for our party, that would be one example. And what are some times you would want to use a double bar graph? Give 3 examples. And again, an example would be something like if you were making a graph that compared how many hours your dog and cat slept. So that's it, just 6 examples, and you are done for the night. See you tomorrow.